Greetings, gamers. Oh, dear me. Well, hopefully we've got it right this time, guys. But anyway, we kind of went through why we are here. So if you skip the end of the last episode, and you're probably like, hang on, how have you gone back in time? Well, you need to go check out, just pause here, go check out the end of the last video, because it was going to be a transfer thing, so maybe you was like, oh, I don't need to see that, I'll switch off. Yeah, you definitely needed to watch the end of that video yesterday, or not yesterday, it was Friday that it came out, and then you'll know where we are. But basically, we are back at the start again in a much better database. This one is just far, far better, and worse at the same time, but it's kind of like a good worse. So I think I talked about it at the end of the last episode enough. I won't bore you with it, but basically things are completely different. So what was having on the last database was, if I went for a player, I could pretty much get them as long as, you know, they were interested in coming and we could afford to pay them the wages. There was never any interest. This time around, we have had so many little battles with teams for players, most of which we've lost out on, to be honest, but we have managed to do a little few bits here and there. We've also not had as much money, interestingly. So they had obviously a decent budget at the start. I'll look at the finances now, and we're basically ready for the first game of the season today as well. But you can see here, they are predicted to lose money. One other issue that I had in the last database, and I don't know if it's going to be the same on here, please, anyone that's played as IFK Goteborg, please go into your sponsors page and just let me know if you've got some sponsorships in there, because what I found is, when we got to the end of the, so basically like when I recorded the last episode, we kind of got past the 30th of June sort of time. And we also, I think, got past, oh, actually, no, that had gone as well. But yeah, basically, these had all gone. Even though we hadn't got past October yet, which was weird. But basically, yeah, all the sponsors are gone, so we had no sponsorship money coming. Now, obviously, maybe that would have reset at some point in the future, but it had gone like a fair distance. We were into July, so it had gone a fair bit past it, and we hadn't had that little page where it does like the sponsorships and stuff. So I don't know if that's going to be an issue on this, that for some reason maybe SI just balls this up. I don't know. Or if it's just a case of it'll come a bit later on, and we just have like a bit of a gap with nothing. But do let me know if you're doing a save with IFK Goteborg, if you've got sponsors. Now then, let's catch up on what's happened in this version of the series, where we start again. Now, schedule-wise, we'll notice we got ourselves into another Swedish Cup final. This time it's against BK Häcken. So we had a slightly tougher, well, probably not really. We had a decent group. Sundsvall, I think we had John Cobbin Sondra in the last one, but we had Norby, 2-2-1s and then a 4-0, ironically, against the tougher opposition in the group, Sundsvall. We then beat Hammarby 3-0, and we beat Djurgårdens 2-0 as well. Now, in this version, because obviously I've done the exact same thing, I've started in sort of the July 2019, and then sort of let it simulate up to Christmas, and then I took over the club. So basically exact same as last time, and that way it's just a bit of a different database. It means things have happened. One thing I didn't realise is Raheem Ibrahim that we was using and was like our little prospect in the ball-winning midfielder role. The AI manager last time was actually signed that guy. He wasn't actually a Göteborg player randomly, and I looked at him on this one and he doesn't look as good, so I'm assuming he had like random attributes, so that every save it's a bit random. I think we also had the same thing with one of our own youth prospects, because we also had, can't see where he is, it must be in the under-19s, where is he? There was a sort of centre midfield sort of player, Tim something or other, which just seems to not exist for some reason. Where is he? There he is. Tin van Assema, who on the last one, he had really good potential and some decent stats. On this one, he definitely seems to be a lot worse. So, not really sure what's going on there. I guess, again, maybe it's random attributes. But what it's meant is it's very much a very different series. Very different save. Now then, I'm sure you're wondering, transfer-wise, let's have a little look then. So, transfer history. So, they bought in this guy. So, I didn't do this. This was before I took over. I took over on the 25th. I took over on Christmas Day rather than Christmas Eve this time. Christmas Day 2019, I took over. So anything beyond then is me. But the AI manager in charge at the time, Jonas Olsen, I think it was, Bought this player, and he's alright. He's a decent kind of backup ball midfielder, box to box. But yeah, he's a decent backup player. Hopefully, we'll be able to flog him on for a bit of money in the future. Now, we came in and did some deals. So, one of them we had before, Nico Williams, just because it's a cheap backup sort of fullback option. Now, I went for Jon Bjorkengren, who we had in the box-to-box role last time. So again, same formation, same tactics, same kind of little spot free in that role. He was transfer listed again, but we didn't have as much money because this time we only had about 300,000. I sold a few players, as you can see here. Also, we didn't get all of that money in our transfer budget, but when it sort of came down to it, we could get him, but it would pretty much cost our entire sort of transfer budget. Now, there was another player available who looked very similar when I compared them, and he's another Swedish player. He's got a very interesting picture there. No idea, yeah. But basically, he was transfer listed because he wasn't going to sign a new deal with IK Sirius. So 475k, but we actually got him for about 275 up front with some clauses that could rise. He's a really, really decent player. Now, it's just kind of a few of the players seem to have shot up in their current abilities recently. Not really sure why, but I'll take it. He's already worth more, which is brilliant. 24 years old, homegrown, a quality player. He's not brilliant box to box, but he's pretty decent. And for the kind of value we need, whilst we're sort of waiting for some regens to come around, he's decent. Emmanuel, can I get that name right? Emmanuel Danso is just a Ghanaian sort of backup player. Again, can kind of play a few roles in here. Again, not awesomely, but it's just purely some backup in the midfield. That's all it is. Nico Williams, you saw him before, but he is just a backup sort of fullback for us, fullback wingback. Andre Alsante, he isn't with us anymore. It was kind of getting towards the end of things. I wanted to try and basically getting towards like the cup games. I wanted some depth. I was really struggling at the minute to find some AMC cover, and we also was losing Georgie at this time. I'll cover that in a minute. Georgie. We then got Carlo. Well, yeah. So basically, I cancelled his loan. So he was with us for like 4 weeks. Carlo Invanchin. We've got him for £40,000. Can rise. He's a fullback. Come from Dinamo. He's decent enough. He's gone out on loan now to try and develop. He's not a major wage. He's got that 5-star potential. I've tried to go out as many sort of cheap players as possible in, and obviously he's one of them. There's not loads available, but there's a few ones, so I've tried to pick them up. He might become decent. He's got good determination, but then again, he might not. We'll have to see. We then got Petr Jezek. He came on trial because the scouts sort of rated him. He had some decent looking stats. He came on trial, and we've gone for him. He is on a youth contract, I think, at the minute, hence why I'm saying £8 a week, but he's got quite a decent salary once he does hit that. 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential, really, really decent player. We'll kind of get him training at attacking midfield role, which currently is obviously occupied, but he is definitely the understudy, and he'll get a lot of game time in that role for sure. But he's kind of our first regen signing, which is pretty damn cool. So that's kind of the ins. 1.2 million in the hub, as you can see. Small fees that can rise up. Now then, loan out for Alexanderson, who is a decent sort of, again, AMC. London went out for 250k. He was just a winger option. Isaiah, I was going to say it. He got sold this time. He was one that we had to loan out because we couldn't get any offers for last time. But this time, we got him out for 675k. You know, it would have been nice to get more, but that's a decent fee. Toko, another one we couldn't get rid of for love and money last time. He's a really decent, solid player, but just don't quite fit. I've got other options that are homegrown and younger in that role, so we got rid of him, and we got 450k. Sana, another one we couldn't get rid of last time. He's gone out for 500k, and again, a decent sort of squad player, but I've got other options in, you know, like Petty, for example. We then load out him, and we've sold Ibrich. Oh, just a young prospect, a bit of potential, but I've put a 50% selling fee. I don't think he'll become that good, though, so I was kind of happy to let him go. He wasn't going to get first team football. So that's kind of the ins and outs, guys. The main thing we've had, though, and I'll show you via the promises, is that Georgie wanted to leave. And basically, I turned up, and he was already wanted. And there's a few players in our team that I wanted. like Yusuf is, Georgie is, and Robin Soda is, who we kept. Just out of interest, Nils Froling, who we bought last time, he went to Milan. He'd already gone by the time I took over. So a little bit frustrating, but Soda's been very solid in pre-season, and I think he'll do us until we find a replacement. Maybe even a regen replacement. You can see there, 4 goals, 2 assists in 5 games. It's obviously been the cup games, but yeah, can't really complain with that. You can see Georgie's banging form as well. But yeah, Georgie was wanted, and literally probably a week into taking over, he'd basically said that he wanted to move to a bigger club. I think we had a bid from like a Swedish team, which I'm not back. He wasn't bothered about, but that kind of triggered more teams to come interested, and I think it was Valencia or Villarreal or something like that, and Lazio. Valencia, I think, made the offer of like 1 point something million, because that's kind of what it's worth at the time. I knocked it back, and then he basically sort of complained and said he wants to leave, bigger club and all that. I tried one of the options to keep him. It basically said no, so I offered, reasonable fee and all that jazz. And basically, he agreed on 1.9 million, which wasn't ideal, but he was only worth like 1.2, I think, at the time, 1.2, 1.4, something in that ballpark. So it wasn't loads, and I didn't really hear anything back. We then got to the transfer deadline day for European teams on the 31st January, and offers galore came in for Lazio. It started like 1.2, knocked it back, 1.3, knocked it back, 1.4, and it was slowly just increasing. Like every hour, it was like as soon as basically continue, it was a new offer. It got to 1.8, which was obviously 100 grand below, and there was like no stalling because obviously it's deadline day. I was really kind of ready to and basically I kind of put together what would I accept, and then I thought, well, they've not actually triggered it yet, so I'll reject it. So basically I'd put together I want 50% selling fee. I even put that I wanted to loan him back for the rest of the season. I kind of locked that in because I was like, well, if we're going to lose him on deadline day, I mean, even though our deadline day hasn't actually, until much later on, but I kind of locked that in thinking, well, if we can keep him for the season, then, and we've obviously going to get guaranteed money, then why the hell not? So I kind of put that in and locked it. I don't know if they would have accepted it, obviously. I think I put a sort of deal for about 2.5 million because I knew they wouldn't want loads, obviously. And then I decided, well, I'll reject the 1.8 and I'll let them at least trigger the one where I've got to kind of let him go. And they never came back in. So almost sold him and ended up not. That promise ended about a week ago in game, and it just popped up basically saying he understands that no one came in and triggered the 1.9. He has given us more time to sell him. So unfortunately, I was kind of hoping it would just be like, he no longer wants to leave the club, but it hasn't. It's just basically extended it. He hopes the team will make a bid. The problem is his value is increasing. He was about 1.2, he's now up to 1.5, which means next transfer window, he's gone because he's going to be worth about 1.8, 1.9. So I don't think we're going to have Georgie along, unfortunately, guys. But that's kind of that. In terms of things I've asked for, I increased coaches. I've got an affiliate club. I've only had one so far. Just show you that quickly, guys, just so you know exactly kind of what's going on. So we've got the team in Iceland, I think it was. Yeah, I think we went for them. Trying to remember. Yes, we've already got them. Yeah, we went for this team in Iceland. And I'll keep trying to obviously get more and more as I kind of did last time. I'll try and get some scouts. I'm hopefully going to get some more transfer budget. It'd be nice, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's kind of how things are, guys. Now then, we've obviously got the first game of the season, which is against IFK. So let's get into that then, guys. And it's some new players for you to see. And it's some new players for me to enjoy, hopefully, as well. So our lineup is Anistis in goal with Jallo, De Gracer, Wilkström, Wernersson, Yusuf, Erlimark, Anderson, obviously our sort of new guy for this version. Georgie, Afyan, and Soda, who obviously we didn't get to use last time either. So let's go, boys. On the bench, we've got the new boy, new regen, Jezek, in there as well, and a couple of others that you might not recognise. This Stromberg guy is a regen that came through the youth academy of like this September last sort of year when it was sort of simulating ahead. He's got a bit of potential, nothing special, but he's alright for a bit of backup. And that's kind of why I cancelled that loan. Once we had Petter in, we had this guy anyway. We're fine. Right then, boys. Let's go. So I do hope you'll appreciate kind of why we sort of restarted, because you can already see there, it's made it just far better. You know, you can sell players and you're going to face a lot more challenges to sign players as well. But there's still so many regions. So we've done it, we've got the database just right now. The only problem is it makes the game a lot slower, but I'm kind of used to that anyway, because this is kind of how I had it set up before. I should have done that from the start, but I was trying out one that I had sort of seen, and it did work. Like, if you do want your game to run really smoothly, how we had it set up previously, the game was like flying through. It's just, without the other clubs there, as you've seen, it's not as good because you can't get as many offers, and it's just a bit easy to sign players. Right then, give the fans their money worth. Let's go, boys. So, back to it, boys, back to it. Don't know why that's reset. Oh, I think there's been another update recently again. I'm sure I saw something about winter update version 3 or something. It seems to be a lot of versions coming out recently. We'll go for the sideline view, because that's what I like. And we'll zoom the camera in a bit as well. There we go. Right. Vernison. We're straight in the action here. Vernison. Ooh, I thought I was going to get a little cheeky early goal there. By the way, someone in the comments, and just, I'm sorry if I haven't replied to as many comments. I will get that replied to. The problem being is that basically I've like, right, get these episodes out. And then because of this, that's taken up a couple of my days now, like getting the stuff sorted out, testing the database. I'm ignoring the fact they've scored. Testing the database and then getting back up to where we are now. That's taken me a couple of days that I wasn't kind of expecting, so I've not had a chance to do a load of replying, but I will do. Do not worry. So far, your comments have been amazing. There was someone who mentioned, because I've named the tactic like cheeky 4-3-2-1, and they were like, it's called the Christmas tree. And I was like, yeah, I've already called it Christmas tree before when I've had these sort of style. So I was like, I've used that before. I can't use it again, but I do know it's called the Christmas tree. But I need something a bit more funnier to use for it, because like I say, I've used Christmas tree before. I think we called it Christmas tree of doom, I think, once. I can't remember who it was, but we definitely called it Christmas tree of doom. Now, that wasn't a great early start for us, to be honest. I'm going to be very annoyed if we've done so well during the cup games and then we have a bit of a brain fart here. I won't be too happy. And that kind of seems like that's what we're doing. I'm going to give them a get creative last 5 minutes of the half. There's a highlight. It'd be nice if we could equalise. We've not really seen a lot from us, though. Soda. Anderson. Afyan. Shoots. Oh, just wide. In this version, we are using the target man, which is what I kind of started using towards the back end. I'm basically trying to see if I can get the striker more involved. I'm going to say that was disappointing. Let's get back out there, boys. Because, yeah, as they advanced forward, it just said they drifted quite a lot, which is good. You know, it helped out. But it often meant that if they did get the ball, there sometimes wasn't anyone in the box. So they kind of, like, just killed the attack. So I'm kind of... Oh, that's a great steal from Soda. Soda, oh, good effort, but good goalkeeping. And I'm going to have my Swedish cider, Alska, in honour of the Swedish series. Now, come on, boys. We need to get back in this. 2 men hustling. Bit of pressure on the goalkeeper would be nice. I'm going to go for another get creative. Be nice to try and get a goal. We've seen a little bit more promising highlights from us. We'll have to see how this one goes, obviously, because they've got the ball at the minute. If we can win it back, we might have a chance. We are pushing them back again. If they pump it long, maybe we'll steal it off them. No, they've been able to play it out again. Come on, boys. Let's get the ball off them. Come on. They've had it too long. Let's steal the ball. Come on. Olsen's got it. Goes wide. Oh, he's taking him on. Can we win it? Someone get in there. Oh, Jesus. That was far too easy. That was far too easy. This isn't going as well as it did last time. I think obviously we only lost, I think, 2 games in the league in our last little stint up to sort of January, July, and we might lose 1 in the first try here, which isn't great. Right then, I think we need like a demand more or something here, guys. Right, we're going to go demand more. Just showing nothing, to be honest, though, which is really frustrating. Because we've been really good in the cup games, so I don't kind of know where this has come from. Oh god, I hope they haven't like put something in the patch or the update that's just kill this tactic. I'll be super peed if they have. We'll bring the youngster on for a bit of game time. I mean, why the hell not? No one else is really doing anything, so might as well give him a go. New boy on his debut also having a bit of a struggle, which isn't great. Jallo. We'll bring Yellow off for Nico Williams just because he's a little bit tired and obviously not playing great. And if we get creative, come on. Can we at least, if we can get a goal soon, we might have a chance. I'm going to go attacking as well. Well, we'll go very attacking. Why the hell not? Last 10 minutes. As a highlight, if we can get a goal, you never know. De Gracer, very far up the pitch. Soda's actually really deep for some reason, which is weird. They seem to have swapped places for a minute. Pumps it long, but that's where Soda should be. Right, come on. Oh, they seem to just playing it around us very easily here. Oh, I thought he'd stolen that. I thought he'd got that one. Come on, try again. Try again. Get in there. They're playing it around us just far too easy, though. Just look at that. There's just... That it didn't seem to happen last time, so I am very worried that there's been an update that's like changed something as Alm goes forwards and makes it 3. We are getting slaughtered here, guys. They just seem to be like Barcelona keeping the ball. That didn't happen. Like, this is the first game I've actually loaded up and played today. All the cup games I played sort of yesterday after work. So if there's been an update or anything that's kind of like changed stuff, I saw something on Twitter. I didn't really look into it, so I don't know if it has been an update at all. But I'm really hoping there hasn't been. Because this is not a good start, guys. It's really not a good start. But you can't win every game. That is frustrating, though, guys. That is frustrating. Maybe it's just the tactic we played against, like 4-5-1. Maybe that just slaughtered us, or first day nerves. I really don't know. What I will tell you, though, is Malmo, I think, are going to be absolutely head and tails better than they was in the last incarnation. Because, obviously, they were struggling last time. You can see they've already won, which is, like, a million times better than they were doing last time. But they actually won the league at a canter last season. If we look at the stages quickly, you can see here that last year they won it. Actually, not by a canter, I suppose, only by 1 point, but then the rest of the teams were quite far behind. But yeah, so I don't think them and AIK are going to be as much of a pushover as they seemed to be last time around. But yeah, guys, not the best way. I'm very disappointed by that, and I'm kind of hoping that's not going to be a sign of things to come. Because we've done really well here, so I don't know, guys. But either way, we go again. Deja vu and all that. I'll see you soon for the next one. We'll probably come back and do the Norrköping and Falkenbergs game. So I'll catch you soon, guys.